Okay, Jean, I was really looking forward to this interview because, we've been through a lot together. I mean, gosh, we've done this and that, and we've tried so many different things. And we just have a big history together. We've worked on a lot of business projects together.
Mm-hmm.
Some that have been
True.
successful, others that have not. And
True.
it seems that we've been doing a lot of volunteering of our time lately. And we were having a conversation about that this morning. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm Lisa Griggs. I'm part of the Winner's Circle Team Win for doing interviews. And today I'm interviewing one of my business partners, friends, confidants. This man knows everything about me. Trust me, the good, the bad, and the ugly. He knows it all. There's nobody that knows more than me about me than Jean does. And you've been such a pleasure to work with, Jean. I love the way that you show up in life. You have such an awesome heart for people. And we were having a conversation yesterday around women, and you said, "Well, I love women."
Yes.
And I
I don't
think
know if
why, we've had so much success together in our creation process, which is really awesome and very beautiful because we're creating together at such a high level. And I love the creations that we're doing. So I want to have this interview today because it's been a year that we've been involved with a specific project around hormone health. And you've created a fantastic brand called the Hormone well, it's about the hormone health journey, but you know what? I'm going to let you tell that because I don't want to steal your thunder and tell your story with regard to this brand that you've created. But it's phenomenal what you're doing, and I just want you to share on that, and then I'll talk about how I actually even got involved in this was really because of you. And
Mhm.
I love that because you said, Lisa, you cannot not do this business. And I didn't know anything about hormone health. I didn't know how important hormone health was, but because you have a background in pro wrestling and have been around so many wrestlers and have done, TV and radio and just different things with regard to wrestling and professional wrestling matches and different things, you really knew about the hormone space, whereas I didn't. So you were really the one that educated me on, what the hormone space was and obviously how important it is to us. So thank you for being with us today.
Well, thank you. And I don't want to do this today, by the way. So you're stuck. I'm going to go ahead and leave the meeting now.
Okay.
No, no. It's April Fools. I got to do something,
Yes,
right?
we did.
But no, thank you for having me. And, you and I have known each other for over 15, no, over 10 years, about 13 years, I think. When you and Dr. Chris, RIP, you all reached out to me for some help with the projects you all were working on. And we worked with each other off and on since then. And then last year, you contacted me around January, say, hey, I got this other project I'm doing. And we kind of worked on that for a little bit, but that was going to kind of fade off. And then you went to Utah to see this company's offices, New Life's offices, and get a feel for what they were doing. And first thing, I got to be a fly on a wall, so to speak, when you had a network marketing leader in a room with Alexi Goldstein, the founder and formulator of the product we're going to talk about, and I got to hear his kindness. I got to hear his heart on wanting to help people and why he does what he does, why he's in the owner and uh, helping out so many people in now 17 countries, and so that was one thing that I liked about it. And then of course I did like what I saw with the company, and you sent me the website and I looked at it and I saw that it was, and here's the bottle, it was a transdermal HGH product. And I'm like, wait a minute. And I remember back, because you said for wrestling, though I never got involved with this aspect of it, I knew so many of the talent that used steroids. They had to be bigger. That was the push back then, is bigger is better. And in the 90s and early 2000s, I knew that they were doing it. They weren't actually injecting HGH, but they were injecting steroids to help boost HGH in the bodies. And from there, of course, like I said, I stayed away from it. But when I saw what this was, and it was transdermal, it was microdosing, and it was the only product on the market that has this, I'm like, okay, that's a game changer. So that's why I said we can't not do this. We've got to do this. So I've educated myself. I've tried to learn more about, HGH. HGH is the mother hormone that helps activate the other hormones. And I've loved the results I've seen. I've loved the results that so many other people have seen, you included, with this. And I just, decided that, I definitely am happy to promote this for people, seeing so many people, seeing so many different, up to 40 different benefits. It's like it's a no-brainer. So
Yeah, I love that you're a researcher. We always tease that you're the smartest man in the room. You're the sharpest tool in the shed. I open up my shed. I'm definitely not the sharpest tool, but when you open my shed, I have the sharpest tools around me. I've been very blessed in that way. And I always look at you as the smartest one in the room because you're a researcher. You spend a lot of your time researching a lot of different things. And I really took into consideration your opinion and your knowledge and your ability to research and what it was very valuable to me. And that's why I listened to you, because I said, Jean, I really don't need another thing to do. We were working on a lot of different projects at the time, and projects that were actually very inspiring to me. We were creating at a really high level, and I didn't want to walk away from those things and put something else on my plate that I really didn't necessarily want to do. I've had a great career in network marketing and referral marketing and just marketing in general, direct selling. And I felt very blessed by that, but I also felt very burnt out. And I think you also knew that. And so
mhm.
I think the partnership with you encouraging me to really look at this and look at this product Somaderm, and then also be able to find this angle that we found through menopause and helping women, which really became this powerful mission for you and myself and Veronica and Renee. And we're like the core four of just bringing this big, conversation to the forefront around menopause. And now you have also helped us, not with just Power Hour and navigating this whole journey with women that are in menopause, because we have 1 billion women in menopause. In this year of 2025, 27 million women going to work every single day with menopausal symptoms, hot flashes, all these, their mood swings, the lack of sleep that they're having, the brain fog that they're having, and having to work through all these things on the job daily, and then have to deal with people. So, and then you really started a brand recently that's even taking what we're doing with menopause into another level. Can you talk to us about that?
Well, yeah, I developed, and not gonna be able to see it very well, stand up a little bit, but your Hormone Health Hero. And I just kind of declared myself as that because I want to help people. And like I said, there's over 40 different benefits to just this one product, Somader, and we have other products that we promote. But I want to help so many people stay healthy, live longer, not be in pain, not have to be in menopause, stuff like that. And you brought up a good point. If, 1 billion women this year is going to be in menopause, some phase of menopause, and it's unbelievable how taboo that subject still is. And I have to go back and watch the Oprah Winfrey special from last night that she did on menopause. But it's gaining some traction. Oprah, Halle Berry, what we're doing. We've got the Facebook page, Power Her Through Menopause. You ladies have that and manage that. It's a Facebook group. I'm sorry. We also have a Facebook page for both men and women. The Facebook group is just for the ladies. I developed a website for you all, menopause411.health, and we're going to be doing a newsletter soon to the subscribers of that. So make sure, ladies and gentlemen, go there and sign up for the newsletter. And we're going to try to educate as many as possible. And I love the fact that we have this homeopathic product that is it's natural and it's made by the formulator also owns the company. It's not some third party. You can attest to having a third party uh, product ripped from your company because
Mhm.
it's happened to you before. This can't happen because he's the one that developed it. It's his company, and I love that fact that it's something that's secure for us to continually use and not have to worry about someone else taking it from us, so to speak.
Yeah,
But
I love that you mentioned that because it's the delivery system that
mhm,
makes this so special because you knew about HGH and obviously from the having the wrestling background, but the
mhm,
delivery system is what you're talking about that is so unique to what we're doing because it's a category creator in the sense that yes, there's HGH injections and yes, there's somatropin and different things like that, but this is the only product, as you just alluded to, of its kind that has this delivery system, which means it's so unique in that it actually is efficacious and it actually works. I want to ask you a question. You mentioned that your brand, the Hormone Health Hero, and just all the stuff that we're doing with menopause and your love for women, and I know you have a heart for women. You're so incredibly supportive and present for all of us. Um, what do you think? Is there something that you kind of personally attribute that to? Was there something that happened in your lifetime that caused you to want to have this as a mission and a charge? Was there something intrinsically in you that said, yes, I want to do this. And I feel that this is valuable and it's needed and it's become a passion project for you?
Well, in regards to the women, my parents were a part of a network marketing company back in the 80s, and it was husbands and wives, and the women were right there in the forefront. And there were other women that my parents signed up who were single and, helped promote them. And my dad was all about that. It's helping them, you know, make money basically in this company. And that kind of stuck. And then dealing with, of course, pro wrestling and the lady wrestlers who don't quite get the opportunities that the guys get and have to really fight doubly hard. And also they have lots of other layers they have to go through with their sexuality and you know uh, trying to get and trying to evolve and grow in a man's world. It's a tough fight with these girls, so I help promote them as well. So then when we started doing this, and I believe it was you that started talking about menopause, and all of a sudden realizing how much this could help women in that aspect, and then us doing our research together on that, that just it was again, like I said, a no-brainer. Let's try to get this in the hands of as many women as possible. And you talked about the delivery system, transdermal. You were a part of a different company, you and Dr. Chris, when we started working together. That's when I first heard about transdermal, was those pain patches you all were
Correct.
involved
Yeah,
in.
that was a
And
medical device. I mean, that was an
yes,
actual medical device and was covered under insurance. So, yeah, very
exactly.
interesting.
And so that way, by knowing about that and hearing this delivery system, and like you said, my background with knowing about hormone health, so like that, that's what kind of merged that together also to realize, okay, this is something we need to do. And it's microdosing. We know that the injections you would get somatropin or HGH, it's it's not helping their glands produce what they need to do, it's just replacing. That's why it's called hormone replacement therapy. We're not doing that. We are boosting the glands to produce more naturally. And that's another thing I love about this is, there's minimal to no side effects. We've heard some people may have a side effect of a skin irritation or something like that, but that's because your body is oh, what's the word? I already forgot. It's cleansing itself. It's
Yeah, detoxing. It's
detoxing. Thank
detoxing.
you. Forgot
Hmm.
the word. So the body's detoxing. And after a little bit of time, that's done. That's gone. And so that's the only bad thing I've heard about it. It's not really bad. It's doing your body good. It's doing what it's supposed to do. Is detox your body and get those bad things out of you. So um I just I can't help but to want to promote it more. I've got my own Facebook page for Your Hormone Health Hero, and I've been putting did you know things in there about hormone health, and I want as many people as I can get on it. I've got an appointment on Thursday with a lady that's in a different Zoom that I attend on Mondays, and she set up an appointment with me because she wants to learn more about her hormone health for herself, and she's postmenopausal. She still has some night sweats, and then top it off, one of the answers to the questions when she set it up on my calendar is, I want to help other women. You know,
Yes.
so that's big. So we're going to be talking on Thursday about hormone health and improving. So
Yeah, I really love that. I think that's a big part of it. Also, you have a daughter, and
mhm.
you also had mentioned in a previous discussion on Power Hour, we have, Mondays, we obviously have the men involved and the women. It's been amazing having you on, helping us host that and do all of our IT and tech and everything, and just the creative side of what you've been able to help us put together there. Do you think that hormone health played a part in your divorce? I know that you mentioned it before. You wondered if maybe your significant other was going through a hormone challenge, because I wonder if men know this side of it, or if they just kind of suffer through it as well and kind of accept, oh, she's just, I don't know, she's just a different woman. I've had so many men, Gene, what I'm saying is, tell me I didn't recognize the woman that I married. And we know that 60% of divorces are initiated by women over the age of 40. So the divorces right now are initiated by women over 40 years old, 60% of those. So that's a high number. And I believe a lot of it has to do with hormones. This is a big deal, because balancing and optimizing your hormones is where it's at, because that's what brings your body into a parasympathetic, calm state, grounded state, out of your fight or flight place of your nervous system. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, and I don't have any true facts on this about her, but she was not 40 yet, but we were both close to being 40, and it could have been hormone related, some of the things that she was going through. And not to get into specifics of it, but there were things that had happened that now as I look back, I realize that okay, this could have been that happened could have been because of hormone imbalance, and this other thing that happened could have been because of hormone imbalance. So I don't know for 100%, but I can kind of see now with what I've learned this past year, look back and say, yeah, that might have been that. Because some of the things were there was no real explanation until learning more about menopause and the imbalances of hormone health and what women go through this past year, that I can kind of lean back and say, yeah, that might have been what was going on with her in the first place.
So being the hormone health hero to men that are listening today, what is one piece of advice you would want them to know if they don't know? What is something you would want them to know?
Well, just and one of the things that we talked about on the Power Hour before is, you know, when your significant other, your wife, girlfriend, whatever, even parents for the younger guys, your moms, um, but mainly the spouses and girlfriends, they may get into that don't touch me phase, where they don't want to be touched. They don't want any physical contact, stuff like that. That, don't take it personally. It may not be you. Now if you're someone that doesn't bathe very much and you're stinky and everything like that, yeah, that might be you. But but no, in general, it may not be you. It might be her hormones being imbalanced. And I say to educate yourself, get out there and read more. Come to the website menopause41.health and read what we've got out there. And also the second thing is talk to her, ask her, use the phrase that I love that you and I drove before, help me understand why you feel this way. Help me understand why this is going on, you know? And I think that by men educating themselves on menopause and what their spouses might be going through and asking questions of their spouse and trying to find a solution together may help decrease some of that divorce rate, in women over 40. It's initiating the divorces and such. It's a partnership. It's not just her. It's not just, you know, some men attribute, oh, it's just her time of the month. Well, guess what? She stopped that time of the month 3 months ago, so it's not that, and or she's just crazy. That's kind of what I thought with my ex. And I thought she was just crazy, but so educate yourself, ask those questions, uh, we want women to educate themselves too, but sometimes going to the doctor may not be the solution. You may need to get a second opinion, something like that. But also educate yourself on the natural solutions like the somaderm and stuff. Because we've got women who are just seeing so many benefits of not having hot flashes anymore, not having the foggy brain anymore, no more night sweats, no more headaches, and the list goes on and on from utilizing this product. But you know, like Halle Berry said in that one video that you mentioned before, is that her doctor would not even tell her she
Yeah.
was in menopause. It's taboo subject still. Why? Nobody knows. you know, and finally she had to tell him, no, I'm in menopause. And then he says, I was
Yeah.
going to tell you
You said
that,
it, not me.
so it's men just definitely educate yourselves, help work together with your wives and girlfriends on being educated together on, what's going on with your bodies or her bodies. And, come talk to us, um, let's get together and, have those conversations, come join us on the powerherhour.me, POWHER hour.me, Mondays 6 p.m. Eastern and 3 p.m. Pacific. Come out there and ask the ladies what's going on. I'm seeing this, I'm going through that, and
Mhm.
get educated. Or do you have the phone number handy?
Not in front of me, but
Hold
well,
on.
1-877 New You Life. That's our phone
There you go.
number for
There
Power
you go.
Hour. One
Call,
eight seven seven New You Life.
and if you're a lady or one of the men that have questions on menopause, call that number, talk to Lisa or Renee or Veronica, and get started with your education on what's going on and a possible solution. We won't say that it is a solution. It's
Mhm.
a possible solution. And
Mhm.
even if it benefits you to sleep better and not have the night sweats and not have the arguments over the thermostat and stuff like that, hey, that's a bonus, so.
Most definitely. So, I love what you said. A lot of men just need to get educated because I think sometimes too, they think it's their fault and it's
Mhm.
not your fault, gentlemen. This is a real, very real thing. Women's hormones, when one of them, and we have 50 of them, but one of them is out of balance in a woman's body, what happens is everything goes out the door. So it affects a lot. And you'd be surprised that even when you get to the other side of menopause, there's still more health challenges that she's going to have to overcome. Brain fog, being forgetful. There's not as much estrogen in the body. There might be vaginal dryness. There might be lack of libido. There's so many things, bone health and mood swings still. And so I think it's a very real thing for men to get educated as well. Yeah, go ahead, Jean.
And the last thing, heart palpitations we just learned about.
Yes. Yeah,
That
that's a
we
very
didn't
big one.
know that was
Mhm.
an a side effect of menopause, But one thing I do want to say too is I want to kind of give my own personal
Yes, I was
testimony of
just
what
about
happened.
to ask you.
Oh,
Yeah, I was just about to ask you that. I do want to hear your personal testimony on Somaderm. I was going to segue into that because obviously we've talked about the men, we've talked about, what we can do to help them, you know, you're the Hormone Health Hero, which is so awesome. And I know you built that brand because this product did something very significant for you. What did Somaderm do personally for you that really transformed your life?
Well, the first thing was I started March 15th of 2024. I got my first bottle of Somaderm. I did an open box on Facebook Live, and I noticed right away that I slept better. I slept through the night better. I had my dreams have always been wild dreams. I don't always remember them, but I know that there's something wild going on in this dream, and now I'm remembering my dreams more and they're even wilder. Literally last night I dreamt that, and what's really freaky is having a dream and having a memory, talk about a memory in that dream that never did happen.
Mm.
But in my dream, it was something that happened. And I was talking to my dad about, remember when we came here before and you parked the truck over there and it never happened. But in my
Wow.
mind, I remember something, so that's how wild my dreams are. And I love it. It's like, he's like television at night sometimes, but it's me. But also being able to, like I said, sleep through the night, get up and have more energy throughout the day. One of the other big things that I had was my joints, my inflammation decreased tremendously, where it didn't hurt as much to get up off the couch. Every once in a while, I do still get the knee pop, stuff like that. I got to practice the can trying to get my knee to pop, but definitely not like it was. My inflammation down, my arthritis, in my hands, able to pop my knuckles again that I used to not be able to do because the inflammation was so fast in my hands. And then my psoriasis, and let's see if I can get this right. This area right here, okay, going wrong. I got to look at it this way.
Mhm.
If I look in the and look on the screen, then I do it wrong. But this whole area was a huge blotch of redness, and now you can see that you can see my
So
actual skin
amazing.
coming through.
Gosh, that's so awesome.
And it's just in different areas. Now I still have bad psoriasis, but after a year being on Somaderm, it has improved vastly.
So
So I'm
incredible.
hoping after another year or sooner that it will keep improving. But I got a patch on my thigh that was bigger than the palm of my hand, and now it's a little area this big, and
Oh
a
my
little
gosh,
area that's even smaller.
congratulations.
So I love that. And then one of the other big things is, and you've witnessed this because we've had to stop working on stuff in the middle of the day, is I used to get these massive tension headaches. Start right back here, these hypertension headaches, and just come up and
Yeah.
just be so bad. And I was taking 3 to 9 ibuprofen a day. I think you yelled at me for that. And
Yeah, because that's bad for your stomach, right? Correct,
it's
right?
bad for my
Yeah.
liver
Yeah.
and kidney and everything, kidneys. And I turn around and notice around a year ago today, I didn't have a headache. So after 15 days being a silver, I didn't have a headache anymore. I think I've had one tension headache that I had to go get some ibuprofen in a whole year. So, and that's fantastic to me because now I don't have to stop in the middle of the day and go lie down or sit down on the couch and just doze off because the headache's so bad. So I don't
Yeah,
have
that's
that anymore.
incredible.
And there's so many other things that our bodies, we don't realize our bodies are doing. And I go back to the body is the miracle.
Mhm.
And trying to go too much details. My dad, he was a laryngectomy, a neck breather, and in his 60s, he had to have a shunt in there to keep the airway open. Well, it had rubbed through and cut his arteries. You had an articular blowout in the hospital. They cut off that artery. They sealed that up. No blood pressure right side. Big sign on the wall in the hospital. No blood pressure right side. The nurses still come to his right side and take his blood pressure. You know, and he'd laugh at him. But what would happen is if he sat up too quickly or just even raised his hands, he'd get dizzy and flop back in the bed. Here's the miracle of the body. One doctor sat down with us, literally sat on the floor and drew it out that the veins were on the right side were acting as arteries and were pumping in reverse to get blood to the right side of the brain. So when he would do this or sit up, they'd go back to normal flow for a little bit and he'd get dizzy from lack of blood to brain. And they start working again that way.
Mm.
So that's the the beauty of the miracle of the body is the body's going to do what the body needs to
Right.
do.
That's right.
And the same thing with somatropin. When we put this somaderm in our bodies through, in our bloodstream through rubbing in transdermally, we don't know what all it's doing. It's going to do what it needs to do. I
Right.
recently discovered when we were on a phone call that someone mentioned their shoulder not hurting, and someone else said, "Oh yeah, I got a customer, their shoulder's not hurting." I've had shoulder pain for years and realized on that call, I was like, "Oh wait, yeah, oh yeah, it's not hurting." Didn't even think of it. It's not hurting anymore. So, and what else is going on in my body that I don't even know about? You know,
Yes, exactly. That's awesome. I think
so,
that's awesome when you think about it that way because your cells are renewing.
mhm,
Because as you're producing more human growth hormone, your organs are actually growing as well. So they will start to expand your heart, your cardiac output. You will also increase in muscle mass. Maybe not
mhm,
even know it, but you'll increase in muscle mass. Might lose weight, not even know it, but increasing in muscle mass at the same time. So there's a lot of things that you may not know about. And I think that's
exactly.
awesome. I think that's really, really awesome. I have loved doing this interview today. It's been so amazing. And Jean, you're just a stellar person. I'm so excited about this brand. I can't wait to see where, the Hormone Health Hero takes us, what journey you're going to be on next, where you're going to be in like 90 days from now, and just the people that you're helping. And I love that you want to help so many people. It's really, you're developing an awesome community and a safe space for women and for men to be able to get their questions answered and really look at this as a real vehicle for them to improve their health. It's really awesome. Do you have any final thoughts?
Well, I do want to invite people if they want to visit yourhormonehealthhero.com. That's my website, and sign up for an ebook that I have out there about the negative side of not balancing your hormones. But yeah, just anybody interested, reach out to us and we'll share what we know. If you want to hear several testimonials or see several testimonials, we've got a Facebook page. Look at us now. And it's actually a group. We can invite you to the group and then you can read through some of the testimonials of people that the benefits they're seeing, and the benefits don't happen all at once. We've had some people that haven't seen anything for 5, 6 weeks sometimes, and then all of a sudden, boom, they realize, oh wow, this is happening, that's happening, or I can run down the steps, and I couldn't do that before. You know, um, again, going back to the body's going to do what the body wants to do. So, but yeah, just get yourself educated. Give us a call. Call the ladies about menopause. Reach out to me. I'm on Facebook, Gene Beard, and get yourself educated and let's get you on this product because it is an amazing product. And that was the other thing I was going to mention to you and I forgot was I was done with network marketing last year when you and I were working together. I had worked previously with a professional network marketer. I had seen the ugly side of network marketing that we don't have in this company, thank goodness. Um, and I didn't want anything else to do with it until, like I said, heard uh, uh, um, Alexi's heart and saw what was going on and meeting Joe Giuliano on the phone, and everything. And I was like, okay, I might need to dip my big toe back in this again. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, yourhormonehealthhero.com, correct?
yes.
Yourhormonehealthhero.com. Get your ebook today. Get all your questions answered. There's a fantastic community that's being built right there with Mr. Gene Beard, your hormone health hero coach. And he can teach you all things hormone health, men and women, andropause, menopause, all things hormone, optimizing your hormones with Somaderm. And we love you all. And Jean, thank you again so much for being such a blessing to all of us and just your heart to help so many people.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it, Lisa. So take care now.
Okay,